Hi, this is Mr. Wakeling from MrWakeling.com, and in this tutorial we'll be looking at fractions. So for me, I think the easiest thing to do with fractions is to multiply these together, so I put that first here, because all you have to do is first of all turn it into a top-heavy fraction, which I'll show you how to do in a sec, and then multiply the top two numbers together and the bottom two numbers together, and then start simplifying them down. So if we take a look at this 4 and 2/5, what you need to do with this is multiply 5 by 4 and then add the 2 on the top. So you're still keeping the same denominator, this bottom number here. But you're doing 5 lots of 4, which is 20, plus 2 gives you 22 over 5. Okay? And when you're going back the other way, you say how many 5s are in 22, and you say 4, and the remainder is 2. Okay, so that's how you convert between these two here. Now, 4 and 2/5 we said is 22/5, and 7 and 6/2. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 6 is 20. So we've got 20 over 2. Okay, so what we have here is 22 over 5 and 20 over 2. Now, what you have to do is multiply the top by the top. So we've got 20 lots of 22, which is, if we do a quick calculation over here, 2 2s are 4, 440, and 5 times the 2 is 10. Now, because the app knows if this is able to be simplified down or not, and it'll put an extra box in here. So let's say, for example, if you saw my other tutorial, we chose 2, that would give us 220 over 5. Okay, this answer is correct, but it can be simplified further. So we must be able to break this down even more. 44 over 1, which is the same as 44. So when you multiply that, all of that together, that gives you the answer of 44. Okay, so with multiplying fractions, you're converting them into top-heavy if you need to, and then cancelling them down once you've done the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom. Okay, moving on to dividing fractions, and it's virtually the same thing. What the only difference is that when you have a divide, is that you turn it into a times and flip the second one upside down. So what I mean by that is, this one's still going to be the same. So 3 times 4 is 12, plus 7 is 19 over 3. This one would be 1822 over 3. So we switch that upside down and have 3 over 22. Okay, we change that divide into a times and flip it upside down. Then what we can do is multiply these together, 57 over 66, and start to cancel these down. So 19 over 22, 3 goes into both of those. Okay, so with dividing, you just turn it into a times and flip the second one upside down. The adding and subtracting fractions, I think, is a little bit more tricky because you have to do this common denominator. Okay, you have to find out the number that's the smallest number that both of these go into. So most of the time you just multiply those together and to get 28. Let's just check that. Yep, so 28 is the common denominator. Now to turn 7 into 28, I have to multiply it by 4. So I have to do the exact same thing to the top. 7 times 4 gives you 28. So 4 times 4 will be the numerator, top number. And in this one I had to times it by 7 to get 28, so I have to times that one by 7 to give me 35. And only when I have that common denominator can I then add them together. So 16 plus 35 will be 51 over 28. Okay? Subtracting is exactly the same. You just make sure that you've got that common denominator first before you start adding and subtracting. Don't do what some students do and try and do 7 plus 4 is 11 underneath, like that. and you get 9/11ths or something strange like that. You can't do that. You have to make sure both of these numbers are the same before you do anything. So that's your first stage. Okay, hopefully that's helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you. Bye.